Hi everyone, welcome to our AI Agents in Action webinar. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes, or maybe 1 minute, before we sort of kick things off while we let everyone start coming through. Should add some background playing music. Do, 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 do. Better make sure it's recorded. Should automatically record. Awesome. I think that's enough to sort of kickstart and giving everyone an extra minute or so. But yeah, once again, welcome to our AI Agents in Action without the Fluff webinar, guys. It's part of our Spotlight webinar series where I guess it's a big initiative from Olympic 33, trying to add more value to our customer engagement and what we do with our customers over time, even if we're not within a project or if you guys are in support or you guys used to work with us previously. This sort of initiative that we started last year with our BC webinar is saying that we want to do a lot more over the next 12 months, a bit more education, adding more value to our partnership with you guys there. For today, let me kick it off with introducing some of our speakers. We've got Jeff, who's our CTO, and I see a lot of people popping through that would have worked with Jeff previously. Jeff's been with the company for over 20 years now or so, so a lot of you guys will be very familiar with him. Myself, Thai, I'm the Chief Growth Officer over here, which I sort of lead the sales, marketing teams with us and sort of our go-to-market and product or productization branding. And then Drew, one of us newest to the team, our executive director. Drew's been really focused on our AI innovation, working really closely with Jeff there. So both Jeff and Drew, the key people today who are going to run you guys through quite a few demos. But let me just walk you guys through a few things first before we dive into it. And I promise you, as the title says, we're going to cut the fluff today and go straight into AI and AI use cases for you guys. Some house rules: cameras and mics have all been turned off just to make sure this is a webinar and we can keep on with the flow there. If you guys do have questions, the Q&A section is live, so feel free to ask any questions you have in there. I'll monitor that. I'll get back to you guys if Jeff and Drew can't get to. I guess the key thing is watch some real live use cases, and we're going to cut the fluff, and that's very key for us today because I guess you guys have probably already been AI webinared out, and there's been so many of them over the years, over the last 12 months or so. In terms of the agenda, I'm just going to run you guys quickly through just an introduction to the Spotlight webinar series, sort of just set the scene a little bit. Drew's going to pick it up from there. He's going to talk through different types of AI agents and sort of just cut the fluff there for you guys as well. There's so many different technology stacks out there. What don't you need to care about? What do you need to care about? And then we're going to go straight into some customer stories and some demos. The guys have put together a wide range of demos today. So everyone, please pray for us and pray to the demo gods that everything works. First of all, the Spotlight webinars. As I mentioned at the very start, this is a brand new series for us. Well, it's the second one of a brand new series for us. It is to educate our customers. We want to add a lot more value to our partnership without having to charge you guys, without having to do any meetings, because we're constantly trying to innovate and trying to learn more about new technologies. We thought it was time for us to do more sessions like this. I want to showcase what we've been up to, obviously. Continue to broaden what you guys do with Dynamics 365. We've got a wide range of people on here today. Some of you guys are on BC, some are on CE, some are on marketing, some are on F&O, some are on actually all of them. So we want to try to showcase the Copilot in there, some AI stuff, and leverage your tools a lot more. And then we want to focus on use cases and less fluff. And that's going to be the theme of all of our Spotlight webinars. We're not just going to talk big picture. We're going to talk specific use cases and how you guys can leverage your tools better. Why a spotlight for AI? I think if you're like me, I've watched so many AI webinars out there on things that don't work, and it's just an overload right now. Everyone seems to be doing it, complete overload. Just want to cut straight to the point. Lots of too much information to consume. Outside of webinars, there's news, there's DeepSeek, there's this launching, there's this new technology, there's ChatGPT 3.0. There's just so much out there that you don't need to care about. We just want to focus on what you do need to know based on your systems. I think a key thing as well that we wanted to do this session was there's just been so many smoke and mirrors. I've dealt with so many partners, so many customers that have been sold a lot of smoke and mirrors. We actually want to show you guys use cases. A big thing for me recently, I was talking to other sales leaders and other partners who were laughing off AI. And what it could do in Dynamics 365. It just showed us that how far ahead we were, and we need to be getting this kind of stuff in front of our customers, these use cases there. My tipping point for this, so I was mentioning earlier with all the AI stuff and the real life use cases has been the tipping point for us. I think one thing we want to highlight today, and as the guys go through demos, and it's really important for everyone that there's a current state and future state on what AI is going to do for your tools. I'm going to focus on the future state because I think a lot of stuff that the guys are going to showcase today for you guys, it's going to showcase AI actions, and it's going to replace some stuff like old when you used to focus your budget on improving your user interface. The guys are going to showcase demos where a customer or an employee doesn't even have to navigate through the clunky interfaces anymore. They can essentially interact with an AI agent to perform all of their actions. What you guys were probably previously used to within Dynamics was all your rules-based flows and all your scripts, which all had to be updated and all had to be changed, but they were all very predictable and they were all very stagnant. What the guys are going to show is all conversational, predictive analytics, things that actually get better over time. And a key thing as well is now it's going to be a seamless AI first operations. Your UI will be your fallback, not your primary mode anymore. I'm not saying that that's going to happen tomorrow, next week or something, but that should be a future roadmap state that everyone is considering. Hence why we really want to showcase all these examples, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And based on what everyone's been seeing out in webinars, it's not leading to the right result that what we've been seeing. That was enough from me. As I mentioned, no fluff. That's enough slides there. Drew, I'm going to hand it over to you, mate. Do you want me to drive from here or do you want to pick it up?
Yeah, thank you, Ty. I will take over. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Right. Ty, actually, if you can just take over, if you can just drive from here for a second, that'd be great, please. Okay, so yeah, first thing I wanted to talk a little bit about was large language models, and those you will have seen these company names in the press quite a lot. OpenAI, DeepSeek, Claude, Gemini are all different large-scale players that are looking to try and create more capable AI models that have more tools, more capabilities. Some are reasoning models, which are think through and give you a chain of thought, and others are more augmentation, retrieval generation models where they're looking up different from their knowledge source to give you insights. But essentially, all of the news that you're seeing around these models, whilst important and entertaining, as things get better, they're all trending the same way. So essentially, my message to you guys here is, if you're interested, keep an eye on it, but don't worry about it. The large language models will get faster and more capable as time goes on. Every release gets slightly better, but the way that the solutions are architected and the patterns that we use to build AI makes those components, those large language components, very interchangeable. So you're not going to be stuck with an old solution. You can literally take the framework of what we build for you and the framework of your solutions and swap out the large language model as they get better and have more capability without having to start the whole thing again. So yeah, it's a common misconception that we should sort of wait for this moment where we get the perfect large language model. The reality is these things are only just in their infancy and they're just going to keep on getting better. So we can use the ones we have now to create real solutions to real business challenges. It's not fantasy and it's not miles in the future. It's available now with these models, and as they get better, so can your solutions without replacement. So yeah, that's the key message. Just don't get too caught up in it. It's just a lot of good headlines. Thanks, Ty.
All right, mate.
Okay, so in terms of the different types of AI that you might hear about and we're going to showcase to you today, there's three. I'll draw your attention to the three sort of blue boxes at the top here. We have chatbots, which are enabled by AI. we have copilots and autonomous agents. Now, chatbots have been around for a long time, but the natural language component of it, the ability for you to talk to it in a normal humanistic way without using certain keywords, was the downfall of previous chatbots and the opportunity with chatbots in 2025. So with those large language models we talked about, you can ask questions, or your customers can ask questions, and they can reference knowledge sources and give very good and high quality responses with either information that comes from the internet or from your data. So we can really up the quality level of those chatbots with the current tooling. Now, the next thing, and that iteration of AI would be the copilots. So copilots are different to chatbots because they allow you to take actions. Those actions could be, to send an email, to read from email, to update a record, to essentially to take functions that were previously always had to be done by a human clicking buttons and moving around interfaces. Those actions can now be taken off the back of a natural language conversation. So the distinction I would make there is chatbots, you might be able to say to it, how many days leave have I got? And it would be able to look at my leave record and return, 18 days. A copilot, you would be able to say, how many days leave have I got? And it would say 18 days. And you say, okay, I'd like to book the days off between these. And you could converse with it to actually take the action of booking the leave. And that would, leave is just one example. Basically, any action that happens within your organization is likely to be achievable with a copilot. And the word of the 2025s is the autonomous agent. So this is where we actually take processes, business processes, and we recreate those with large language models and artificial intelligence. We still want to keep a human in the loop, generally speaking, because we want to make sure that we're augmenting human capability, not replacing it completely. But we keep a human in the loop just to do validation checks and make sure that we've got the right answers. But autonomous agents take processes, automate them, and make them scalable within an organization. So really interesting work in that area, and that will hopefully come to life as we give you some examples. Okay, thanks, Ty.
No worries.
So when we talk about AI agents, they have this massive advantage. They're always on, they're always available. They're quick, they're efficient, they're accurate as long as you design them correctly, and they're scalable, which creates massive cost savings for the business. And our staff can often, when we talk to them about AI, there's a certain amount of fear and uncertainty about AI replacing certain people in the organization. But the reality is we're actually looking to augment, and we're looking to replace the mundane tasks that are done by our staff members to allow them to get back to what it is we usually hired them for, which wasn't the mundane task. It was for them to use their intellectual capability to bring the highest level of value to the organization. The more of that mundane and repetitive stuff we can take from them, the more efficient we can be as an organization. And that's where AI agents give us a massive advantage. So lessons learned. We've done a lot of work in AI in Olympic over the past 6 months and beyond, but certainly in the last 6 months, AI has been huge for us, and we've learned some things. We've learned one key lesson that we really believe in, which is the power of AI comes when you look at the small slices of innovation that you can make within an organization. Is very tempting when you see the power of AI to get excited and start thinking we're going to revolutionize our entire manufacturing facility, or we're going to completely redesign our whole distribution side of our business. But the reality is that we can prove massive value by looking for the small use cases in an organization, carve them off in a truly agile approach, and prove some value to those use cases. So, it's really great. Don't get involved in a big 1 year or 2 year single program transformation of work. Look for something where we can, reduce risk, where we can increase profitability, where we can reduce cost, and we can do that with a very high degree of impact with a low degree of investment and effort. So that's what we're looking for. It's definitely been a model that served us well, and time again we see that this yields results.
Yeah, and I'll just chime in there as well, Drew, before we go into the demos and things like that. I think everyone just needs to understand, even if you're implementing AI, just like you guys implemented Dynamics or any other technology system, it is a bit of a change process involved in there. We're going through a process now where we're trying to introduce AI agents into our delivery processes, and obviously the first part we'll start off with is how we tackle discovery. I guess we've had functional consultants or BAs in our business that have been doing this job for 18, 20, 25 years or so, and they've only known how to do it one way. Do requirements, jot down the notes, put together a functional design document, user stories, and they're now retraining them to utilize AI, utilize ways to automate transcriptions and automate user diagrams. It's not just a technology change, but it's a personal change and how they work as well. So that one slice at a time just ensures adoption, you guys see return on investment, and then move on to the next opportunity. So don't take AI, it's just going to come in and solve the world. I think it's a new tool there that you have to get used to using over time. And I think that's something that we're seeing internally as well as with our customers. It isn't the building that's the hard part. It's just finding that use case and then also getting people to adopt it and use it in their day-to-day lives to make sure we get that efficiency improved. So keep that in mind before you guys try to do 10 different AI projects in the one go. That change takes a bit of time. Cool. Drew, I think the next now, we've done all our slides and we're ready to move on to use cases and demos. We got about 5, maybe 6 demos or so to showcase to everyone, which is all exciting. These are all real use cases that we've built either for a customer or we've re-baselined it for our own usage, or we're doing this internally as well.
No worries, I'll take over. Yeah,
No
I'll take over the screen. Let's have a look here. So we're going to start with the first type of AI that we discussed a moment ago, which was in relation to our chatbots, essentially. And I'll just show you something which is Microsoft's Copilot. So it allows us to talk to our documents and to the internet. A large collection of documents will be at your service, cuts down the standard inquiries because you can answer them quickly. It's very easy to set up and it gives you a very short time to value. So I won't spend a lot of time here because it's probably the most widely given demonstration and we want to get on to the fun stuff, but we'll just do a quick demo here. Everyone see that on screen?
Yep, gotcha.
Yep. Oh, okay, good stuff. So Copilot comes with Microsoft tooling, and essentially you can either do it across your work documents or your web documents. Now, with these licenses, Microsoft does guarantee data sovereignty. So when you put your work documents into these tools or you allow them to be indexed by these tools, you don't have to worry about those being used to train your models. I think that would be the end of trust with Microsoft if that ever happened. So definitely not something you need to be too concerned about or concerned about at all. That's a guarantee. So in your documents, commonly we'll see things that are surfaced from these types of inquiries where you might say something like, tell me how do I request leave at Olympic 33? Copilot will then look into the document store and tell me exactly how I go about getting my leave approved. So very simple, looks up the quality document. You can make that accessible to all of your staff members. And you could ask a whole range of questions around HR policies, leave, paternity leave, anything you like. The other thing you could do is you could put your project documents about it and quickly and easily be able to ask questions of those documents relating to projects. So that's kind of on the work side. On the web side, you can start to ask some pretty interesting things from Copilot. So let me just say something like, let's actually do one more on the work side. Let's say draft a professional email response to an inquiry about pricing. And AI is going to give me, from a very generic prompt, a fairly nice email that will help me to respond in relation to, and it's context aware of who I am. And obviously, so any information I give it will make that a better email. So that's pretty cool. In the website, we could do something like a little bit of prompt engineering, but you could say act as a law professional and research the apple.com privacy policy. So it's going to go onto the web and it's going to look up the privacy policy for Apple. Okay, so I say, okay, great, great. Please, can you make a recommendation on how this could be improved? So it's going to recommend enhanced transparency. That's awesome. Okay, I agree. And say, okay, thanks for that. Can you please tell me the relative legislation for this policy? And very quickly, we're going to get the relative legislation for the policy. So, if we're looking at this and turning it on our own documents, for example, we want to do a review of our privacy policy, then we could have the AI act as a lawyer. It could give us some recommendations. We don't recommend you use this for law, but the point is that you could then go to your law team with some suggested edits or recommendations, and potentially your $450 an hour bill, instead of it being 10 hours to review that against legislation, it might only be 2 hours to validate what we think we need to update. So it's very interesting, very straightforward, very easy to do. Time to value is very low. Sign up, get set up, and you're off and running. Okay, so that's the simplest example that I can give. I'm going to pass you over to Jeff to show some examples of what we can do when we want to stretch the legs a little bit more.
Sorry, Drew, we've got a bit of a question here, mate. Before you move on, one concern is about how your questions and answers are dealt with in the wider internet scheme privacy of these.
Yeah, so there is there's various tools that are available for us to use in order to manage biases, to look at privacy, to and use for data governance. And Microsoft have a tool called Purview for setting up exactly that sort of framework for you to be able to work to. They also have an ethical AI guideline, which we recommend that customers work within as well.
Awesome. And I think a lot of the agents that we're showcasing today, guys, are pulling from data that's been in your database. So it's not exposed to the wider internet as well. But yeah, Microsoft have put a lot of thought into these items. So if you guys want a deeper session on the security elements, we're happy to do that.
Yeah.
And then I guess with the Copilot stuff that you just showed there, Drew, like everyone on the call, essentially, if they do have a Copilot license, can have access to this right away, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You just go to Copilot onto the website, and you can start using it. If you need any help on supporting that, then we can definitely help with those things.
Jeff, on to number 2.
Okay, let me grab the screen. Okay, so the one that I'm going to demonstrate today is a chatbot. And this chatbot is actually being added to our Trader e-commerce B2C and B2B platform. And it actually comes from an idea or an issue that Thai actually had late last year. Thai was actually tasked with the job of getting all these shirts that you see us wearing. Okay. And he had to do this and came back to us and said, this was a pain. I had to do this on a website which didn't support bulk ordering, had no way for me to upload my sizes. Do you know how many times I had to click? He was complaining. Like, it must have been hundreds of times that he had to go through to get all of the shirts that were necessary for our entire company. Okay. So with this idea in mind, we have applied this to our trader platform, but we haven't done it in a UI UX process, adding a costly new mechanism, new screens, new abilities. We've done this by having a chatbot. And this will allow us to show how it is much easier to solve this specific problem, but this could be any other type of problem, which adds to getting people on in a different way to your existing structures and your existing websites and your existing processes, adding those mechanisms. So let me just take you through this. So let's just pretend that this is the item that I would like to, and 1 second, please. This is the item that I would like to purchase. It's an item which has multiple colors and multiple sizes. Okay. We've added the AI, and this AI is actually an agentic AI. So what we've done is we've added an agent which knows about fashion information, an agent that is focused on about order history and order information. But we also gave it the ability, so I could ask it a question like, how can I bulk order? And we thought, well, what would be the easiest way that someone could bulk order? Well, the easiest way is we could provide them with just a very simple format for like CSV, okay, where they could provide the color, style, and size information and the counts. So I just happen to have one pre-prepared ready here to do this. And I can go, well, I've actually ordered one of those before. Can you show me my last order? So this is the one that I got to make sure that it was exactly what I wanted, okay? But what I would like to do now is I would like to bulk reorder this product, if I could spell, with this attachment, which is the spreadsheet that I showed you before. Now, the fashion specialist gave me this information, the agent. The order history assistant gave me this one. The fashion specialist has then gone through and analyzed this CSV file and split it all out into an order. And it has given me a couple of different options that I could use to complete, which is what I will do. I will complete my order. It has now been successfully added to the basket. If I click here, there it is in the basket. So what Thai took 250 clicks to do, I could do in that process and extend the functionality and flexibility in a lot less clicks. Sure, I had to fill in an Excel spreadsheet, but an Excel spreadsheet is familiar to me. I can do that anytime. I can manage that list of people offline and then come here to complete my process. Okay.
Awesome. I really love that example, Jeff. And I guess going back and that's from the customer's point of view, even from the vendor's point of view, we're actually working with a fashion retailer now where we're implementing this for their website. They're a B2B retailer and they obviously have a lot of competitors, and their partners tend to go to their competitors because it's an easier experience on their portal to order. But this is absolutely a game changer for them and going to increase massive growth. A big part of that is also the back end side of things. And for me, when I was placing this order, I kept placing a certain number of units for this black t-shirt, kept going back, oh, we don't have X amount of sizes, X sizes, X sizes in this one particular one, but it would never, I don't have to do my own manual researching to find another suitable color, another suitable t-shirt. Well, eventually this AI agent will be able to do and saying, we don't have 3 smalls in this color, but this is the most similar one. Why don't you add that to your basket instead? So I guess it improves that age-old, I guess, question of the shopping cart. How many times can you convert that shopping cart theory? So the AI agent for our new partners is going to severely increase their efficiencies there and increase their return on investment for sure. That was a really big game changer for them and their portal and their business. Who's up next?
That's me.
Drew?
Let me just share again. Okay, so on this one, guys, we're going to look at an autonomous agent, which is a returns agent. So we're looking at an agent that monitors an inbox. It answers a mundane email on a simpler request. It gives a quicker customer response. Simple queries are responded to, and we can escalate the more complicated. So this would apply to anyone like customer support, IT support, sales inquiries, order updates, these types of things. So the email is going to come in. It's going to be read autonomously by AI. And I'm going to show you behind the curtain of what actually is happening so you guys can formulate a good understanding. So this is our returns agent, and you'll see some of the instructions that we're giving to it in natural language. Let me see if I can make
Drew,
this
could
a
you
bit
zoom
bigger.
in a bit? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try and make it bigger. Okay, so I'm saying to it, you are an agent that assists with requests for customer returns, items purchased at our store or our website. You're part of our customer service team, and you have a friendly and helpful tone. You will analyze the company return policy to provide accurate advice to the customer on when they can return their item as requested. You want to help the customer returns where possible. Now, it goes through a bunch of instructions that I give it for the snack shop that we're going to be testing today. And that's all very interesting, but I'll take you down here and you can see that I've given it a knowledge document. So I've given it some training documents that I would usually give to a staff member, and I would give it the returns policy in Word format that it can look up. Now, this one, I've actually given it a couple of actions as well. I've given it the ability to monitor a mailbox. So when a new email arrives, it's going to grab that email. If it's a return request, it's going to use the training we've given it and the instructions we've given it to check the returns policy, and then it's going to email back the user. So this one, they're basically automating that sort of simple task. Now, I also have the ability to escalate that if it's not a simple request. So we can really cut down our challenges here. Now, here's an interesting switch that we want to be aware of. Allow the AI to use its own general knowledge. I have that disabled. I do not want the AI to go on the internet and try and find the solution to the problem. I just want it to use the documents I've given access to. Super important to do that. So essentially, I'll come into my email. Let me just see here. So, sorry, this is I'll go into Gmail. Okay, and I'm going to send a request. So I'm going to play the customer here. I'm going to email myself. So and then I will use return request. I'll say hello. Oh, hello. I bought a packet of chips 3 years ago, and they have gone moldy. Can I have a refund? Thanks, Mark. Okay, so I'm going to send that off. And then I'm going to go back into here, and we're going to have a look at the processing of that. So let's see if we can see in analytics. So we can see here some of the back-end capabilities where we can see the different interactions that are happening. You can see the activity of the bot. So when it's processing the order, and essentially it will do these actions. So it's going to look up the policy and it's going to return it. And actually, I'll do a test as well at the same time. So I'll put the similar request here. Hello, I have bought some chips 3 years ago. Can I have a return? And it will look up the policy. You cannot return the chips. There's non-perishable items such as change of mind returns only within 14 days, provided the items are unopened. And you can see the logic that was used here in order to find that, and the data sources that were checked. And just move this out of the way. Go to request returns. You can see the email. Thank you for reaching out. We apologize for the inconvenience. Unfortunately, unable to have a refund. Thanks for understanding. Best regards. So you can see there we've autonomously responded to the customer's inquiries, and we have now processed that return without any effort. So really good example there of an autonomous agent doing customer service for us.
That's awesome, Drew. And I guess maybe some people are thinking on the side here, how big of that project would that take?
Something like this, it's not a huge project. We're talking about days and weeks, not months and years.
Yeah.
And this is only one example. Obviously, you've got returns, you've got reorders, you've got sales inquiries. There's a lot of mundane email monitoring being done in organizations. We don't always have to just respond. We could analyze and send a Teams message. We could analyze and add data to a spreadsheet. We could do a whole host of different things.
Yeah. And the efficiencies on that is through the roof. I can imagine people spending hours just processing one order or so, and now they can do it in minutes.
I think there's probably whole departments that are set up just to monitor mailboxes and answer mundane tasks.
Yeah. So I got a question here. Someone's picked it up. As your email was in Gmail, does that mean that you are supplying your documents out of Google Workspace instead of MS SharePoint?
Supplying my documents? No. So the Gmail was just acting as the customer. So I was sending the inquiry in as a customer. So it's just a simple email. There's no Gmail or interaction beyond that being the email client that I used. I just wanted to use something outside of Microsoft so that it was,
Good.
a different interaction, a bit more like real life, I guess.
Yeah. So you guys can just imagine it's just general public emailing through and us being able to pick it up within our own instances.
Yeah. The email could come from the website inquiry form or anything you want. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Awesome. Jeff, you're up next.
Sure thing. So the next one that I'm going to be looking at it's another Copilot demo using the same tools that Drew has just showed, but this is going to be within Dynamics 365 Business Central. Okay, and it's going to show how we can take the Copilot that is already there from Microsoft and we can extend it. So we can use agentic patterns to extend exactly the same box, exactly the same interface, but give it new capabilities. Okay. Now, the things that I'm going to be showing you, some of them are for ideation. Okay. Some of them are just ways of doing some tasks like AI-powered mapping, but always within D365, keeping a human in the loop, allowing you during part of this process to change your mind, remove some items, confirm that the AI has done what you've expected to do before accepting that process. Okay, so I'm just going to go to BC, and what we've done is we've added a process for ideation of projects. So this is going to be using AI to perform an action to plan a project. Now, I've got a couple of probably quite short, but quite interesting prompts or suggestions that I'm going to add. So I'm going to say, hey, I want you to make me a project plan for assembling 45 emergency housing cabins connected to services, and I want this over a 3-day duration. So this is going to help me ideate over the process that I would need to do. It could be a good start. It could be something that I could use. 1 second. Let's try that one more time. Nope. Okay. I'm going to give up on that one, and I'm going to try a different one. Just 1 second to see whether I could quickly develop an app that manages animal risks and media events and see whether we can get a project plan for that. Okay, so it's developed me a project plan of how to develop this app and given me a place where I can decide whether I want or introduce more items for this process. Okay, and I can edit this in between a state before it is saved to the project. So the human is in the loop using all of the tools that are available within BC, all of the normal things that you're used to be able to give you this information. Okay, I'm going to discard this one and try something different. I'm going to plan a project around over the next year, plan, design, and build a new subdivision for 50 houses in Auckland. It's quite a big ask, but let's see whether it gets some of the right sort of areas. Okay, so I've got zoning regulations, surveying, obtaining permits, all of these things which I can keep. Okay, and then this just becomes a project that you can edit. All of the normal processes within BC are available. What I could also do is, which I'm going to show in the next piece here, is manage or maintain imports. So one of the things that you may often do in various processes in ERPs is that you have an Excel spreadsheet containing some data which you want to import. Now, we can use AI to do some smart matching all of the columns. So I'm just going to attach a document with a set of milestones which may go against this project. And I'm going to get AI to try and figure out what format my file is, and it doesn't have to match the target format of your table. In this case, it's just going to be a table which contains this information. It's going to map what it thinks it can from those fields. I can edit them, human in the loop, delete them, import milestones, and then view milestones when I find the right button. Where's the next one? Related project milestones. Here. So that imported all of this information, okay, of all of my milestones. But the key piece here is that I didn't have to have a specific format of this milestone file. It tries to map that information as close as it can into where it needs to go. Now, let me just get this back. So this preserved having the human in the loop and allowed us to extend the functionality of the built-in Microsoft Copilot with other things. And so Drew was talking to you about all of the different LLMs that are available. Some are good for some things, some are good for others, and they're always getting better. So the LLM that I used for this is a much newer version of the LLM that's currently available in Copilot, and I could use it to do additional features and functions. Okay.
Awesome. I think that the BC team were very excited with that too. So if anyone's on BC on this call and want a bit of a deeper dive demo onto that feature there that Jeff's just walked through, the team was very excited to walk you through it. Cool. Drew?
Oh, all right, good stuff. Let me just
I'm liking
share.
I'm liking this tennis play at the moment.
How are we doing for time?
We've got 15 minutes left.
Right, okay.
So I think we're going through it nicely.
Yeah, I've got 2 demos to do in that time, so I have to be quick. Let me just share my screen again. don't look at that one. That one's next. Okay. So this one, oh,
You got
sorry,
it on
let me
the
just switch to my presenter mode. Okay, so this one is about creating a new engaging experience for a national sports association. So they're looking to improve a 360-degree view of customer in the CRM, which I'm sure everyone on this call probably had that conversation in their business. We want to get to know our customers better. We want a new open communication channel with them, which is really important. We want to reduce the friction in people being able to buy our products. We want to improve the engagement and loyalty for sports at grassroots level. And we want nice, efficient information access. And whilst we do that, we want to enhance the game day experience as well. So with this association, one of the things that we're trying with them is actually taking the solution outside of the traditional ways of delivering AI and showing what is actually the art of the possible here. So let me just share my screen on my phone and I'll show you what we're doing. Share screen.
Shared now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're actually going to use WhatsApp. Now, behind the scenes, everything is Microsoft, everything is Azure AI, everything is open. And this is interfacing with our CRM. What we're going to do is we're going to have a trigger, and that trigger could be anything that you want. So the trigger could be when somebody buys a ticket to an event, or they purchase one of your products through the website, or when they walk through the store, if it's possible to find out who they are in that way. But essentially, there is a trigger. And in this one, it's going to be when they arrive in the venue and they scan their QR code, they're going to have a website that, or they're going to have a welcome. And then they're going to receive a message on WhatsApp, which is context aware. So can you see that there? It says, "Hello, Drew. I'm excited to have you here." So it knows me. It looked up my telephone number against the CRM, and it's offering me an upgrade package to become an exclusive VIP. So where I think of this is like, you would never be disappointed if you arrived in the airport lounge and you got an offer to upgrade to business class, or you got upgraded for your loyalty, because in the CRM, they know that you've been there 5 times before. So in a sporting event where you're spending a lot of money, or any of your customers that are spending money with your brand, it's good to recognize their contribution. And we see that with companies like Netflix, or Amazon, who really personalize the experience. So it's asking me if I want to upgrade to the VIP package, and I can say, "Tell me more." Now, I'm not having to use specific keywords to trigger off this experience. I can speak to it like a very natural human being, and it will say, "Okay, this is for the VIP, for the Australian Open." And I can sort of go through that. But let's say I want to say, I am actually on my way to the event, and I am at Central Station. And I'll say, "How can I get there?" So we've got this attached to multiple different knowledge bases. One of them would be event information. So it's going to give me some options of the train, the tram, things like that, walking. Can I get some merch? Let's say merch instead of merchandise again, because we're just talking like a human. The AI understands it. And it's going to give me an option of some different merchandise. Let's click in and see what it's got for me. It's got a hoodie. I quite like that. That's good. I've got a couple of other things. I'll say, okay, let's go with the hoodie. wasn't really a question mark there. And it says, great choice. Provide me with your email address. So it's true at email. Let's just do that for a little fake email address. And I will get a reservation number to go and collect my item. So, oh, that's a hiccup with the order. Yeah. So, but you get the idea. So basically, we can do the full experience end to end. I think we've got an issue with the sizes here, but that will give me the capability to have that one-on-one experience, create those new ways of interacting with our customers, our upsell opportunities, and improve our 360-degree view inside our CRM as well. So
Yeah.
Really impactful.
Yeah, I love that scenario, Drew. And I think everyone on the call, if you guys are looking for another medium to interact with your customers, the reason why I really like that demo is because it was on WhatsApp, just something that we use every single day. So especially if you've got a membership base or you have a reoccurring member base and you want to keep in contact with them with an AI where they can just, instead of logging into your portal or logging into your website every day, they can just chat to something on WhatsApp, whether it's ordering another meal or it's upgrading their membership packages, they can just do it via WhatsApp. I've also been thinking about this scenario for conferences and events. And, you know, if I'm sure everyone on the call has been to a conference and event, and I've used a very clunky event app, but having a WhatsApp concierge that tells them what sessions they're on and where to go and put together a schedule, things that just shows that they're just tying AI into applications that I use every single day.
Again, Drew, all the advantages of being always on, 24/7, low cost. You know, like that portal to the customer is always there. If there's if the AI can't answer, we can escalate it. We can also monitor what is being asked of the AI. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to an events company on Friday, and they were telling me that a lot of the friction that is created at the events, they don't sell merchandise because of the queues. Like if you go and see a band or something, you'll know that from your own life. Like you look at the queue and you think, oh, I just can't face that. As everyone leaving, if they got a WhatsApp message to say, what about some, memorabilia from the day, and you could just double click your Apple Pay to get it sent to your address, you're not carrying around a t-shirt for the rest of your night. The merchandise sales go up. It's really impactful. So yeah, it's a really cool stuff.
Just to let you guys know, sorry, we just had a question about WhatsApp not being prevalent in New Zealand. We can use SMS as well, guys. Or just WhatsApp was just what we used for that demo.
Yep. Custom website in your own mobile application, SMS, any kind of mechanism really you want. You can use Slack, you can use Telegram, wherever your customers are, we can reach them,
Yep.
Okay, last one is an agentic solution here for, let me just see. So for a customer, I think I managed to take their reference of their name off, but you might spot it. So they had a significant challenge with missing or incorrect contractor rates on job sheets, and everyone I talk to this is a problem with, especially if you've got a large workforce. So they have a very high volume of jobs that are being carried out, and they have essentially drivers, field workers, and they have to input the right rates for the right type of job. But there's all kinds of different decision matrices that they have to go through to solve the problem. And it's really hard for field workers to get this right. So essentially what's happening, and this will look quite complicated because it is. So the manual process is that the rate comes in and it's incorrect, and it will have to be checked by a human in the office, and then they have to ask a team member if they agree that it's the incorrect rate. The challenge is that the rates could be a good number, like there could be a correct number, but not for that type of job. And the number of different changes, that means that doing automated validation through robotic like mechanisms would be really challenging to spot the odd ones out, the incorrect jobs that are in the list of 100 that have all got similar numbers. Anyway, they have to search for similar jobs. They go through the records, they find similar jobs, they verify that what the rate think it should be, and then they manually update that, and they'll probably have to call a supervisor to make sure that that's done properly. So it's very time consuming, very error prone, and very labor intensive. With AI, we can make it this simple. So we have 3 types of agent. One agent is finding jobs which look wrong in the system, that they identify that they've got incorrect or missing rates. They have a recommendations agent that gathers up those recommendations off the back of the knowledge that it's gained as to say, I think that this job should be this rate. And the summary agent, which sets the rates as a recommendation and passes that back to the user. So what that looks like in reality is an exceptions report. So all of the jobs come in, and I'll try and zoom in here. Sorry, that's a nice background, but I'll try and zoom in a bit for you here. So you can see here we've got 3 agents in play. They've got a rate finding agent where it's found a job with a missing rate. It's found 5 matching sources, which would suggest that there's enough, AI's identified there's enough similarity in these other jobs to this job to suggest that the rate should be set at $9.90. And then if the human in the loop agrees, they click resolve and they apply that rate, and they can apply that rate to all the jobs. So if we look here in the list, I'll probably find one that's got lots of jobs. So this one's got 5 jobs. So that would have been 5 manual checks. Let's see if we've got more. Yeah, so each one of these can be solved with 1 click. So you're really talking about, oh, here you go. Look, there's 15 different jobs that are incorrect there. So we're not taking the human out of the loop, but what we are doing is making it so that instead of the human having to do this process 15 times, they just simply looking at an exception report and either agreeing or disagreeing with the AI, and with 1 click they can update that. And I'd say that that's a very small slice of innovation that we were referring to, with a huge impact on the business. This company's doing thousands of jobs. All of those exceptions would either have passed through with incorrect invoicing details on them and caught further down the stage, or they wouldn't have been captured at all, and it would have been lost revenue for the organization. So an agentic approach that really works. Like I say, all of this stuff is real, that can solve real business problems.
I'm sure every finance manager watching at the moment would like to see that error handling AI agent for sure. That wraps up our sort of demo palooza there. The guys, I really do want to thank the demo gods for allowing us to get through all those demos unscathed there, which is awesome to see, guys. We've got a couple of minutes left. I just want to wrap up on some couple of notes. One is a call to action offer. Obviously, AI is a bit of a journey. We want to take you guys on that journey, and a lot of you guys have already been working with us over the past, so we do know a lot of your systems. So what we do want to offer is a free 90-minute use case discovery. I think that's probably one of the things that stop projects the most. It's just finding those use cases, and us sitting in a room just to go through some of your process flows, trying to figure out where an AI agent or a Copilot might be useful in those cases. We can sort of detail out a couple of scenarios, what the return on investment or how much time you're going to save on each one, and then put together sort of a roadmap for what we call a proof of value, which is one step above a POC, a proof of concept. It's a working model, just the stage before go live. So we're offering 20% off that first proof of value project. Just shoot myself an email. I got my email on the screen. I'll obviously send you guys an email out as well, or you can just email anyone that you do know at Olympic 33 to take up this offer. And then one more slide that I want to leave you guys on as well, and it's something that we've been laughing about in here. I don't know if you guys have seen this meme at all. I want AI to do my laundry and dishes so that I can do my art and writing, not for AI to do my art and writing so that I can do my laundry and dishes. I think this has been a very common theme around AI. Everyone thinks it's going to take their jobs, but no, I'm hoping that everything that we showcased today, it's going to enhance your business, going to get your employees to do what they were hired for. I guess I'm getting my sales guys to do a lot of their note take. I don't want my sales guys spending all the time behind a computer doing note taking and things like that. I want them out on the road. Same thing with our developers. We want them coding. We want them to be meeting our customers and doing consultations instead of doing note writing or transcriptions or doing flow diagrams. We want them to be spending time where they add the most value to you. Awesome. With that being said, thank you so much for everyone for coming along. I think everyone's coming through at different time zones, but if you haven't had lunch, go have some lunch. We do look forward to seeing you guys at the next event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.